The world often talks about Iran's missiles, its military power, and its influence across the Middle East. Dear viewers, welcome back to Reality Simplified. Today, we'll try to understand what is the real strength behind Iran's strong approach towards negotiation. At present, Iran holds two far more powerful cards in its hand comparing to its missiles and military power. One can shake the global economy overnight, and other can very quickly change the regional strategic balance. One is a narrow water passage, and the other one is buried deep underground. So the Hormuz Strait and Iran's uranium. Together, they explain why the world still today moves very carefully around Iran. At first glance, the Strait of Hormuz does not look extraordinary, just a narrow stretch of water between Iran and Oman. But this small corridor controls one of the most important energy routes of Earth. Every single day, millions of barrels of oil pass through it, oil from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iran, Qatar, UAE, and the rest. If Hormuz becomes unstable, fuel prices rise, markets panic, shipping slows down, and suddenly it turns to be a matter of high interest for us to understand how a regional crisis can affect the entire world. That's how a small tension in Hormuz can attract the global attention, and Iran, it understands it very well. Because sometimes you don't need to block a route completely. Just creating a sense of uncertainty is good enough to create enough pressure. But Hormuz is only one side of the story. Iran's second card, maybe even more sensitive, is uranium. Officially, Iran says its nuclear program is peaceful. Energy production, scientific research, and civilian development. But the real concern begins with enrichment, because enriched uranium can serve two very different purposes. One for civilian nuclear energy and the other for nuclear weapons. And that difference depends on enrichment levels. That is why every increase in enrichment creates international concern, especially when diplomacy slows down and trust begins to disappear. You all must be wondering how the situation has come up to the present condition. For years together, the negotiation continued, it collapsed, and again restarted. Meanwhile, Iran's nuclear capability continued to grow. And the world keeps on asking the same question: how close is too close? Separately, the Hormuz Strait and Iran's uranium are powerful enough. But together, undoubtedly, they are a significant factor which carries unbelievable impact towards the rest of the world. Hormuz gives Iran economic leverage. Uranium gives Iran strategic leverage. One affects global oil, the other affects global security. And together, they force major powers to think carefully before making decisions. Because military pressure alone cannot solve both problems at once. A crisis in Hormuz can damage the global economy. A nuclear escalation can destabilize the entire region. That is why even powerful countries move carefully around Iran, not because Iran controls the world, but because the consequences of miscalculation could be enormous. Today, the situation remains extremely tense. The United States watches Hormuz carefully, Israel watches the nuclear issue carefully, while market react to every step. Now, let's try to understand what is actually going on. The governments around the world prepare for the uncertainty because nobody really knows Where is the real location of the true red line? Could diplomacy still work? Yes, possible. Could tension rise again? Yes, that is also possible. And that uncertainty itself has become part of Iran's leverage. That is what makes the situation so dangerous. Not only missiles, not only sanctions, but unpredictability. For now, the world continues to watch carefully because as long as Hormuz remains tensed, the uranium remains unresolved, Iran will continue to hold two cards that nobody can fully ignore. One can shake the global economics, and other can reshape the geopolitics. And somewhere in between these two extreme pressure, the future of Middle East may be decided. That's all regarding Iran's present situation of stronghold. We'll meet again very soon in this channel with new updates. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment if you really consider it to be deserving. Keep watching, take care, and thank you.